Hello, I'm FBX and welcome back to another feature preview. Feature previews are a weekly series I run on my channel. I show features that are going to be included within the next major update coming out for Minecraft on the console. We're calling this next major update titled Update 54, and it's going to be really exciting because it contains lots of big things, but the big thing everyone's excited for, the big feature that contains so many features within it, is the Woodland Mansion. This is something I waited to see some confirmation on how it would work on console, but now we've seen that, I can talk exactly about how the Woodland Mansion will work, I can show you how it's going to work, and I can let you know why you should be so excited if you're not already for this giant, quite literally too, feature coming to Minecraft entitled Update 54. So hopefully you do all enjoy this video talking about it. You can like the video so because it helps out the channel a lot, and let us know you do like the feature previews, especially for this next big update with the next big thing. Again, this is the biggest structure in the game, it's the rarest structure in the game, and it's the one that people have the most questions about. So let's get straight into talking about how you find them, because that's the first thing you're going to want to know about. How do you get the Woodland Mansion? On the PC, they're incredibly rare. You can go for tens of thousands of blocks and never find them. However, on the console, they have changed them to be a lot more common. In fact, it's even been found to have two at the same place at spawn once before, so the rate of these things spawning is way higher in console, which is pretty good if you ask me. Allows you to explore this next update truly, and this means that you can find one in a decent number of roof forests. Again, on the PC, it's like, one in every 1,000 of these might have it, but on the console, if you just find yourself a roof forest, there's an okay chance it might have a Woodland Mansion attached. So yeah, the only forest which will count is of course the roof forest, the dark oak forest, the ones of these types of wood, because it matches the thing itself. Again, it's called the Woodland Mansion, but it's really the roof forest mansion when you really think about it, and inside the roof forest mansion, the Woodland Mansion, what you can find is not only just, a giant bunch of thing to explore, which is fun enough by itself, you can also find the possibility of loot, like with the other temples, and you can also find two exclusive mobs with a third exclusive mob inside there, and one of those mobs drops a very exclusive item you're going to want to get your hands on, because it is the Totem of Undying. The Totem of Undying will allow you to survive death in Minecraft if you have it equipped when you, would normally die, which is a really nuts ability. You can only really get a few of these per world, and you're going to want to save them when you do get them, but if you wouldn't get them in the first place, then you want to come to this place right here. So as you can see, it's a Woodland Mansion. It has a entrance found somewhere at the front. The front's sometimes hard to find, but just look around all the sides and you'll eventually find the main way in. So yeah, these things are pretty nuts, like I said, because they not only contain, they not only contain the exciting things of like, oh yeah, you look around and we can find some crazy statues and whatever else, but they also, and all the loot and all that sort of stuff, but they also contain their own little, their own little fun structures to find. So they contain very, not necessarily loot, but they contain just interesting things you might want in your world, such as pumpkins, such as melons, such as rare flowers and stuff, but as well as containing that, so also there's a bunch of mobs, because these things are very interestingly lit. They're meant to be like this mysterious place where you find these, again, they're called villagers, like, rogue villagers. You find very, lots of interesting things here, including mobs, but including, like, flowers you just saw there. If you want rare flowers, you can find them in vases just like that. If we go all the way to the end here, we might, okay, it's a dead end apparently, but you can find lots of weird stuff around here, and also, on top of being this, because it is such a large structure, it's the first one to kind of prove the, the randomly generated room by room kind of thing. It means that you can actually find so many different rooms with so many different things found inside it, and you can even find like secret rooms if you look hard enough. We'll come to that later, but for now, just look around and you can see that every room is different, and there's something like 50 different rooms you can find, which I think by itself would make this an interesting enough structure to find. Again, it's like a house that pieces itself together, like bit by bit by bit, which is kind of interesting by itself, but then also, you gotta consider it contains a brand new two brand new types of villagers called the Illagers. So these Illagers do a ridiculous amount of damage. As you can see, that one villager just did, I think that was like 4 hearts of damage, despite me wearing diamond armor, by the way. So ridiculously powerful mobs. They hold iron axes, and they're called the Vindicator. So the Vindicator seems pretty scary by itself. Again, it's a melee mob that does that much damage and can run that fast. Again, let me show you the speed on this thing. This is the speed. It can actually catch up with you if it wants to, but as well as being a super fast mob doing a lot of damage and being kind of scary, they're also kind of interesting because they can drop. There's a chance they'll drop emeralds when they die. So we didn't get one on this particular case because they are villagers. They have that interesting like kind of side thing built in, and it makes it a bit more interesting. So yeah, basically these structures, like I just said, they're fun to explore for their own purpose. They're fun to explore for things you get, but they're also fun to kind of work your way through, because it's not just like, oh yeah, it's an endless series of table rooms and bedrooms. Is there a bedroom around here somewhere? It's not just an endless series of rooms like you might expect. It actually also has the interesting side characteristic of being able to find as you go through it, you kind of progress through it, because if you want to find the Evoker, the second type of villager, which spawns the third type villager, you want to get somewhere near the top. They only really spawn on the second and third floors, or the first and second floor by the UK not floor naming system. Again, it's different. Long story short. Also, just look at how much the Vindicator just wrecks skeletons right there. But yeah, basically, so as well as being a fun thing like that, as well as being able to find emeralds, you've also got to try and work your way through these if you want to find the rarer Evoker type of villager. So this isn't an evoker right here, I don't believe. This is, okay, as you can see, we got 2 Vindicators again. Super scary trying to fight even 2 of these at once, because that can happen, and you can be basically dead in just a drop of a second. Again, this is with my crazy damn armor, but as well as being a scary place, you know, filled with these things, you can also find the second type. So, again, we're going to try and find the 3rd floor so I can show you one of these, because, you know, like, again, everything I've shown you so far is crazy enough by itself, but then it goes a step crazier when we actually, let's eat first before we go into this one. Because if you go to the 3rd floor, the very top floor of this thing, or even just the 2nd floor sometimes, again, it depends on the rooms and stuff, what you can actually find is you can find yourself, I'm going to die, aren't I? You can find yourselves, you know, the various type of villager, which is the evokers. The evoker is basically a magic villager. He has a rare magic attack you don't usually see elsewhere. Again, you can see just how weak the zombies are compared to these things. Like, they're doing, like, you know, hard. They're not really even a real concern for you compared to these guys. But yeah, eventually up here we should be able to find ourselves. I bet one of these is an evoker, right? Is it you? As you can see, he's got a slightly different outfit on, and he casts these magic spells. So these magic spells, there's only really 2 of them, but they're both pretty scary. One of them spawns these goos you're seeing right here. They're called Vexes, and they're just tiny dudes with swords. They can go through walls, by the way, so blocks won't protect you from them. Pretty scary because they're so tiny, so hard to hit, and they have iron swords on them. So that's a fun thing by itself. But also, they have a second attack which spawns these, like, pillars on the floor, which makes it hard for you to go from place to place. So I'm hoping we can make him get him to do some right here. Okay, there's just so much going on in this room. But yeah, if you look right now, he's going to hopefully do some. Or maybe just make a bunch of Vexes. That's fine too. But basically, they're very tricky mobs to kill. But if you can do so, you know, if you can, you know, if you can somehow survive and do all this sort of stuff, then you'll be very lucky because you'll be rewarded with the Totem of Undying. Again, pretty much the rarest time in the game. It's a fun little thing to find. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to do this now. Let's just attack him. Oh, God, he's... Again, he runs fast as well, by the way, to make it even scarier. He just attacked and killed that skeleton in 1 hit, so, you know, keep in mind just how powerful this stuff really is. And yeah, he's the scariest mob, but if you can kill him, which is mostly about avoiding his attacks, from honest, there we go, that's his second attack, then you'll get this Totem of Undying just over here, which is one of the rarest and most important items in the game. So yeah, that's how you get the Totem of Undying. You come to his lair, you kill the evoker, and then, again, that's kind of that answer. But it's not over when you've done that, because it's not just about, oh, you explore it, you sometimes find loot. By the way, I haven't mentioned yet, but that loot sometimes contains, you know, not only stuff like, oh yeah, you can find normal stuff, you can find enchanted golden apples sometimes, and you can find diamond chest plates. These things are both rare, but you can find them, so, you know, it's a good place to come if you're willing to just take the risk. But it's also great because you can find little secrets around the place. And you might question, like, what are these little secrets? After we kill another Vindicator, of course. These secrets, okay. So this is, look how terrifying this is. We've got Vexes and a Vindicator right here. There's always a challenge to be had in these places, which is something you might like, it's something you might fear, but it's something you're going to get regardless. And again, it feels like a boss fight, what I just did. Like, I fought the boss and now I've still got to get to the next part of it. But yeah, if we break through some walls, like, let's say this one right here, then we should be... this is the worst. But if we break through a wall and don't get hit by a Vex while we're doing so, then you can actually find other parts of the Woodland Mansion. Because it randomly generates, it doesn't necessarily have all of the bits connect, which means if you go through walls, you can sometimes find little secret bits. So let's just kill these zombies right here. Again, it's going to be kind of tricky to do so, because... there we go, we just got about this. So, yeah, as you can see, we dug through the wall, and we find ourselves a secret little chicken statue. So, as well as 2 creepers next to it, we find this little secret purple bedroom. Again, this must have been before the beds, because it's just like, you know, wood on some white wool. It's carpets on white wool, I should say. It's a really interesting place, and you can also find yourself maybe even another evoker. Yep, that's right. So that's another Totem of Undying found just in the secrets. But also, if I'm not mistaken, even more, then we should be able to, so let's let it blow up. Let's go through the floor. We might just be able to, if we're lucky, oh god, we might be able to, lucky, find another secret thing down here even. So, as well as having another Vindicator who's going to kill me. Okay, this is scary. As well as having another Vindicator, you can also find just a bunch of stuff around here. So this is a jail. That's right, there's jails found in these things. There's so many weird rooms you can find around the place, and there's just secrets found from place to place that might be your thing. So yeah, we also should find some loot in here somewhere. Interesting stuff is what I'm saying. It's a crazy structure to explore. This is just one example. I spent the last 9 minutes showing you, but your example will be different because it is randomly generated each time. It has different loot each time. It has so many different things each time, and that's what you'll find in your own Woodland Mansion after Title Update 54 comes out, which is sometime very, very soon. Anyway, I hope you did all enjoy this video. You can like it if you did like it because it helps out the channel a lot, and let us know you do like, you know, again, seeing the feature previews for feature coming in the next update. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, you know, this video about the Woodland Mansions. Let me know how excited you are in the comments down below. I mean, I know the answers probably vary, but, you know, maybe you're like, oh yeah, well, I don't really play the survival stuff, so this isn't for me, but I think there's still interesting places to explore, interesting places to kind of build and work with, and it's something you should check out. Oh, look, another secret place. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.